It's March 23rd, 2022. Now, this is an interesting piece of journalism. There's some chick by the name of Amanda Bynes who was just recently freed from conservatorship. Judge rules actress no longer needs to be cared for by mother. No idea how they make it seem like she's some high profile actress. There is some really startling, concerning on my part. I've been held as like a prisoner of war in this New York area by these two, what I call mentally ill, being Lewis and Linda. And I was then thrown by Lewis into some drug addict role that didn't exist ever in my life until he made it like it existed and portrayed everything wrong. Tia Frio, the heroin addict who actually got a DUI, almost died, crashed his truck high on heroin, and went to prison for that as well, and had priors, who actually is the drug addict, went in with Lou to say I was crazy, got me committed. I mean, all things that were never in my repertoire. It's not my modus operandi. It's not in my repertoire. That's Tia Frio's story, not mine. 1975 story and Nora Tia Frio 1978 story. Never was it drugs and alcohol. Never in my story. Drink here, drink there, whatever. Losing my balance because it doesn't happen often. But that's their story. I don't understand how from 2010 until 2015-16 that all of a sudden became my story. How do you avoid some conservatorship being assigned to your abusers? Human trafficking, been abused since childhood, it's on documented file by my aunts and uncles because they were concerned about the level of parenting of my parents in the beginning. The lack of brotherhood of my father, the complete isolation, but not of my own doing, sort of protect me, sort of whatever, and then give a whole lot of people excuses, do a whole lot of things that I never gave them, and then end up in 2015 in some kind of Lou's pushing me out to Port Jefferson to go to St. Charles for some drug rehab. I'm like, Lou, I'm not on drugs. I'm like, fine, pick me up. We'll go for a drive. I'll tell the doctor I'll take a drug test. I was like, I'm not on drugs. There's nothing to test for. So they wouldn't accept me in rehab. Lou went effing bananas, screaming, hitting the dashboard. I'm like, I've never met a parent who got this upset that their kid is not hooked on drugs. I was like, Lou, you got my story all wrong. You got my story confused with Tia Frio. I was like, I don't know where you got this whatever from, but you're wrong. And then it became all about psych issues and mental issues. I'm like, do you even hear yourself? Like, I've been in the business world. I've been mom and isolated away from Lou and his disgusting black fetish of relationships. And I've been doing white world things, trying to hide from drug addicts, drug pushers with needles trying to knock me out and move me. I've been trying to hide from all of that. I got some crazy drug addict loser moved in, won't move out. Think Lou wants to help me with that? No, he didn't. In fact, he made the story worse with all his black drug friend buddies who spun it all wrong. Disgusting. Humanity is absolutely fucking disgusting.
2012 and 2013, she had a series of run-ins with the law. She was arrested and accused of driving under the influence and possession of drugs.
For me, that's Tia Frio. That's not me.
She was also held involuntarily in a psychiatric hospital, which ultimately led to her being ordered into a conservatorship controlled by her mother.
I think it is interesting to everyone that both the Amanda Bynes and the Britney Spears conservatorship came about from a psychiatric hold initially.
Right, and that was another thing. Tia Frio and Lou and Lynn kept saying I had to go for a psychiatric evaluation. I'm like, for what? What are you even talking about? All of them had some secret, I don't know what going on, but they don't speak to me about it. They all run around together. Lou and Lynn, by the way, voted for Obama, so he's all caught up with his black relationships and black caucus in some kind of disgusting treasonous event, which I'm not a part of, and then wants to disparage me and make me look bad. I'm not buying it. You're not selling it to me. And what they keep saying about me, in cahoots with the other one, he's got the record, Tia Frio, not me. Lou, I have no idea who he is. Father? He ain't the father of my year.
Attorney Sarah Wentz specializes in conservatorships. When you look at Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes, the beginnings of their conservatorship were very similar, but the way they ended, vastly different.
Yeah, vastly different. And I think that was because of the support of Amanda Bynes' parents. And I think that part of that was that in the Britney case, you had people that...
So now there's all these people who don't like to hear the truth. They don't want to hear about the white victim. They don't want to hear about how we've been looked over and held back so other people could have opportunity to fulfill somebody else's dream, even though we have a necessity. It's been proven, it's been documented. There's people who have been courageous enough and brave enough to start some kind of motion or movement and to try to document on the behalf of the victims that are being so withheld or held in such a dangerous, vulnerable position, while other things are gaining access to really dangerous stuff, putting everybody in some kind of vulnerability position. And then what? Then nothing happens again. And then I have no idea how these two assholes and Tia Frio have moved. Nobody informs me of anything. There's no database to search. If somebody falsely accuses you, how on earth do you get out of that kind of strangle or bear trap that they've laid for you when you don't even know what the hell's going on because nobody tells you about it? Again, it's a different kind of life hijack.
People that were making money and profiting from the conservatorship.
Amanda Bynes' mother, Lynn, says she's thrilled at the ruling, according to her attorney, Tamar Armanak.
She's looking forward to resuming her relationship with Amanda as a mother and daughter, not a conservator and conservatee.
There are about 1.3 million active adult guardianship or...
Now, I don't know how this works. Guardianships or conservatorships. Here's this one. Here's this. I mean, how do you stay away from the psycho crazy babble of people who are on some other national plight? They got their story all wrong. Image consultants are painting it all wrong. And then that becomes some new battleground. And then you make victims out of perfectly innocent, good people that then they don't even know how to protect themselves or get out of what these high-profile image consultants have painted them in as. How does one protect themselves from that level of court system? I'm just curious. When there's such a lack of base knowledge to begin with, and then high-profile somebody's with access to money and motive, and knowing how to prey on innocent victims to make them look like something they are not. Just curious. Just to push somebody else's agenda. The national states that are inside the USA are causing more than just a slight disruption. They're causing massive chaos, and it's really painful to have to sit at this end and live through. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And this level of conservatorship of National Council on Disability, which nation? Is it USA? Because if it's the US with the non-familial face, I want it either dead or out of the argument. Because once it's out of the argument, it makes it really clear where I stand and how I've been harmed by this entire multiple nations formulating somehow without consent inside of the USA. And with the process that's inside the USA borders as a US something or other, confused on even its modus operandi due to different business partnerships and deals and so on and so forth.
Or conservatorship cases in the U.S., and that figure is based on the
I don't want to other problems of other existential family members with bad business partnerships. Shouldn't be my inherent problem.
handful of states that track those numbers. How does the future of a conservatorship look because of these very high-profile cases?
I think that maybe the courts need to look at whether or not they handle the emergency situations where there's a mental health crisis different from a long-term diagnosis of dementia, for example. There's nothing to show that it's going to be ongoing.
For CBS Mornings, Jonathan.
And then you get into the NIH portion of it, and which shitbag is manipulating the vocabulary and the vernacular to invent new image consultant diseases just to make one person look bad, so it quiets them, ruins their reputation, the possibility. Nobody wants to touch it because then they might catch something in society. Right, yeah, got that. Okay, and then there's like the real people that have things to lose, like their health, their mobility, their motility. You get a muscular degenerative disease. That's an even bigger issue. On the horizon, no less. So now how do I fix that since I've got no arm's length family members to speak of or to interact with in an intelligent manner, since they have proven themselves to be non-trustworthy since I was a child. They've also proven themselves non-intelligent since I was a child. And the intelligence that they receive has always been falsely laid. I've been reporting that, as have other people that know them. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.